Hey guys, I'm coming on here to share a dream that I had. Let me see. I want to say around mid to late January of this year of 2024. It's been a while, and I didn't write it down right away, so I don't have a date or anything. Honestly, when I had that dream and I woke up, like, what in the world was that? But I knew there was something to it. So I named it the Refining Fire Dream, and I'm sure you'll get why after I read it. So here it is. I had a dream where I was in a room and I saw a young Asian woman in a metal box that was on fire like an oven. I looked in at the woman and wanted to get her out, but she had to be in there a certain amount of time before I could pull her out. After a while, I took a pair of tongs and pulled her out. She was fine except for some blackened burns on the back of her legs, and it was more specifically like the back of her calves. I went to get cold, wet washcloths, and she went to wipe herself, and I said, "No, don't do that, or you'll rub the skin off. Just squeeze the cold water over your legs for relief." Then I went to pull out a snail. The snail had a small metal square attached to it instead of a shell. So kind of strange. If you just picture, a snail without a shell, basically a slug. And it was about this big, just this tiny square, silver metal thing. And that was it. I turned to look at a fish tank that I was considering putting the snail in, but I saw big oceanic animals in there, and I knew the snail could go from fresh to salt water to fresh again, but that it'd have to acclimate first. I know that sounds super strange because I think we all know at this point, if you put salt on a snail, it's gonna dissolve into nothing. So there's a lot of symbolism in this dream, clearly. So hold on. Let me finish. I put the snail on the bed and then saw that it was now a large baby. I saw the baby had white gunk in its mouth. It was really gross, and under its neck. I went to get cloths to clean it, and then when I turned around, I wrote this a little weird. When I turned around, I noticed, so there was still the baby's mouth with white gunk in it, and I was just gonna clean the gunk out of its mouth. But I noticed where the neck was had now turned into a mouth also. So there were two mouths, one in a regular place on the face and one on the neck. And the one in the neck had white gunk in the mouth too. And both mouths had little teeth in it. And when I turned around, because I was going to go clean it out, it just freaked me out. And I was like, ew, no. So that was a dream. I see a tremendous amount of symbolism in this dream. And I've been reflecting on it on and off for a while now. The young Asian woman, I didn't quite understand that at first. And I still don't fully 100% understand it. But what I keep thinking of is the churches. As we know, the churches in the book of Revelation, it's listed as the Asian churches that they're talking about, which we know, that doesn't mean that everyone that's in those churches is Asian, clearly. But at the time, and we know that there's a lot of spiritual symbolism in it, and I'm not even going to get into all that because that's just, no. That's not for me to explain. I'm sure there's other people that are better gifted at going through all of that than I am. But that's what that made me think of. Whether it's, specifically about the Church of Philadelphia or all the churches. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that there's a refinement coming, which is going to entail going through the fire and persecution. And I definitely gathered that from this dream. I mean, it was so obvious what was going on when she was in that oven, like being heated up. And I remember, like, I had waited for a while. Reading that out of the journal really didn't do much justice, but this was a long dream, and it was quite a while that I was waiting to get her out. And I had wanted to get her out sooner, which I think was kind of like my emotions just creeping into the dream. But I had a knowing she had to come out at a specific time. So that's just really interesting. I believe there's so much symbolism in that. Also the snail with the little metal square chip box, whatever you would call it. I don't know, because it was completely plain. It was just this itty bitty plain square silver metal looking thing. I believe there's symbolism to that too. The snail kind of just makes me think of, you know, a lot of stuff that's been going on in the spirit realm, and these principalities and demonic attacks trying to slow down people in the spirit. That's just one thing I was thinking of. I'm sure there's a lot more to that, and I don't 100% know what any of that means. So something for us to discern and pray about, and perhaps the Lord will reveal in time. I mean, there's dreams I've had years ago that the Lord's bringing more revelation to now. So, or things that, like, you know, I kind of thought might have meant one thing, but I'm like, oh no, that really meant that. So guys, we just see through that glass dimly, and I'm just thankful to the Lord. But we do need to wait on him and pray. And I think one of the most important things to pray for right now is to ask the Lord for strength for everyone in the body of Christ, to get through whatever kind of persecution trial is coming. I don't know if it's going to be a long haul. I don't know if it's going to be so short and we're going to be like, oh, we thought we had more of this coming. I really don't know. From the dream, if I were looking at it from my own personal perspective, I would say it's going to be a bit of a stretch. Clearly, I believe the last stretch, but it seemed like a bit of a stretch because I was, you know, waiting for a while. But I don't know. Ask the Lord yourself. Ask for his opinion, his truth on it. And yeah, as for the whole snail, like how in the dream I knew it could go from freshwater to saltwater to back to freshwater, but that it would have to acclimate. And I didn't want to put it in the fish tank because there were oceanic creatures in there. I don't even know, guys. I'm a bit stumped on that. But I did feel the need to share. So pray on it. I've been getting a lot of things for a while about persecution coming and a testing time for the church. And if anything, it truly does make sense. We know judgment comes to the church first, and it makes sense that the Lord would do this, have us go through trials to see, you know, who's gonna get through it and who's not, in order to be prepared for his coming. So it makes sense. However long that is, how that's gonna work out, I don't know, but this dream has got me reflecting back on a lot of dreams that I've had before about these things, and I've just been feeling so strongly in my spirit, you know, those feelings where you just get them and you don't have the words, but the next thing you know, maybe you get some dreams or other people get some dreams and you're like, that's it. So just pray, keep watching, and strength, guys. Like, that's what we need. We need Christ's strength, because our strength is weak. So God bless you guys. I pray that this helps, and I pray that in the Lord's good timing, he reveals to us what this means and what we need to do with this information. So God bless you guys. Bye.